and welcome to today's episode of Care Sandwich. If you're watching this online, you are in for a treat because if you're like me, you're in the middle of the holidays and chaos. And our next guest is going to talk to us about how to manage all of our emotions. And we were just laughing backstage about the irony. But anyway, I don't want to get ahead of the conversation. I'm going to play this video for you to remind you what Care Sandwich is all about. And our guest is going to show up here in a second.
Welcome to Care Sandwich, the podcast where we dive into the success journeys of law firm owners across the country. I'm Margarita Eberline, your host and the founder of Marketing Boss, a fractional chief marketing officer firm for law firms. On this show, we'll explore the challenges, strategies, and victories that have shaped law firms and how they wrap every interaction with care. Because we believe that caring isn't just a value, it's a strategy for success. So grab your favorite sandwich, sit back, and let's dig into a conversation filled with insight, inspiration, and of course, a lot of care.
Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Care Sandwich. Mary, join me on the virtual stage.
All right, here I am.
There she is, Mary Dominguez, everybody. So I usually ask guests to just introduce themselves and what they do, but I'm not even going to do that because people are going to experience it live. Mary, you help people with so many things, and law firm owners, you and I have had conversations about law firm owners and how they live these stressed out lives. And if anybody knows that, it's me, mother of 5 boys, whom I love dearly, but who stress me out sometimes. And we were just having a conversation backstage about the holidays, and you know, this is really a season where it might bring up, you know, feelings and emotions and lack and stress and all of that stuff. So, you know, Mary, yes, give us a little context on who you are, what you do, and then tell us, help us, how do we manage all of this?
Fantastic. Well, thank you so much, Margarita, for inviting me here to your amazing podcast. I love the Care Sandwich. When I heard it, I was like, wow, it sounds so appetizing, right? Like, no pun intended. But I'm very honored to be here. And especially during this time of the year, as you mentioned, you know, the holidays. I think that, well, I'll say for myself, I'm Mary Dominguez, the emotional wellness strategist. And I'd love to say strategist because a lot of times, you know, we hear coach and it's like so overused, and unfortunately it's become, you know, watered down in many cases, and we feel like, okay, anybody can be a coach nowadays. But when we've been around enough long enough to see what really works, you know, and what people are saying and putting it together and really offering people solutions, because I think that's what it is. We want transformation. We want not just another idea, but what's proven, and someone to dive in with us. So that's exactly what I do, you know, work with my clients to get those solutions in a, I would say, short time frame, because that's our goal, right? To transform in the least amount of time.
I love that. And I love the word strategist and the distinction that you made, because you're right. I think I was resistant, and yeah, that's the word, resistant, for many, many years from, you know, talking to therapists because of the word therapy, from talking to coaches because maybe I'm weird, but like I'm the kind of person that gets kind of annoyed when people are too rah-rah, because I'm like, just tell me what to do. So I think that's why I gravitate toward, you know, coaches, strategists like yourself that have a different style, a different way to do it, because y'all give us tools, right? So for those that are listening, law firm owners or non-law firm owners, just, you know, overwhelmed moms like me, how do you manage, or what are some tools that, you know, you can share with us to really manage the holiday season and the feelings of lack, absence, stress, failure that may come up, because not a lot of people are talking about that. Everybody talks about the holiday cheer and post their pictures of the families with matching pajamas, which like I think is so cute, and like I love it all, but like let's talk about the other side that like people are not talking about. Like the holiday season can be a really heavy season for folks where maybe family members have passed away, maybe you're broken up, or you're divorced, or going through transitions, or you feel like, wow, like you didn't kill it in your business like you thought, and it's not the holiday that you imagined in the Swiss Alps. Instead, you're home watching Netflix, Stranger Things.
Right, right. It's very true. And I tell you that one of the biggest things that I always focus on, and when I talk to my clients, when I talk to people that I know in regards to this, is, it starts by giving yourself grace. And sometimes, we don't, we take that very lightly. But when we talk about grace, it's giving yourself that opportunity to not necessarily focus on the expectations that you had and that you did not reach, because I feel that we do it to ourselves. I mean, no one's out there like with the checkbox, like, okay, oh, you said you were going to do this and you didn't do it, right?
That's
It's
true.
not that. It's us. Like, we're the ones that have created that checklist for ourselves. We're the ones that know, and then we're the ones that are, feeling angry, or we're feeling, whatever feelings we're doing. Sometimes, that imposter syndrome, like, oh, I was supposed to do this and I didn't. And it doesn't matter. It really doesn't matter. Like, at the end of the day, you get to hit reset. You get to call it what it was, whatever it is, and know that you can pick up again. Like, stop being so hard on yourself. And that's one of the things that I always find so comforting, to let someone know that it really is okay. And I, especially what I see with attorneys, and I know that you work with so many attorneys, and I love, the fact that you work with attorneys, because you understand that these are, individuals that are always like at a 24/7, like your mind is going, like you're expected to be, show up, um solve the case, even if it seems like it couldn't be solved, and it all lies on you. And then aside from that, you have a family, you have expectations at home, you have expectations if you have kids, let alone five. Well, Margarita, my hat's off to you. um, but just
Send help.
understanding. That's another episode.
Oh my
um,
God.
but definitely the high stress and low recovery burnout is something that I see often. So I just want to tell you that, breathe, and really literally take this moment to just be reminded that you have to breathe intentionally, not breathing because you're alive, but breathing intentionally. And I have an exercise that I want to share, if I may. It's called the calm palm. So if I have your
Okay.
permission,
I
you're going
need
to
it
hold
right
your
now.
hand like this. You're going to hold your hand up,
Okay.
and you're going to
Which
take
one?
your other finger, either one, doesn't matter.
Okay.
Just put one hand up. And I know sometimes, you want to just like hit something with it, but don't. Instead, use your other
Not
finger,
today.
and you're going to trace each finger. You're going to breathe in when you go up, out as you go down. Use your nose, just inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale, next finger, inhale, exhale, last finger, and exhale. So I want to ask you, Margarita, because you did it. So thank you so much. How do you feel? Because I want others to also hear and see if
Okay.
it resonates. What did you
Okay,
feel with
but
the?
but first I'm going to give context, because I don't mind being
Yes,
vulnerable on camera, because I believe
absolutely.
I'm able to really help people. So guys, I had this podcast with Mary last week, and I had to reschedule it because one of my clients was like, I really need you, right? And so I was like, okay. And so I already felt bad. So I had that pressure that, to your point, I was putting on myself. Not once did Mary say, Margarita, you jerk, why'd you reschedule, right? So point taken. The other point was, I had drop off with my kids because I have co-parenting at 2:00, was already running late. The youngest was in a mood, didn't want to take a bath. Like one of those, paint the picture. I don't need to say more. You get it.
Mm-hmm.
Get them there, get back. My desktop computer has been taken apart by one of my teenagers. I don't know where the camera is on my desktop. So I'm like, okay, I can't get on my desktop. It's now past 3 and I'm like stressing out. And I'm like, okay, let me use my laptop. My laptop is dead because my other kid used it for gaming till God knows what hours of the night. And then I can't find my charger. I try phone A. Phone A is not working properly with the software that we need for this podcast. Phone B is working, but now I've got this background that's not my favorite. Context is all that stuff, to your point, Mary, was stuff that I was stressing out about because I was judging it. It was not how I wanted it. It was not ideal. So yes, I dug my own hell, or I created my own hell in my head. Thank you for pointing that out. Now, the exercise of the finger. I'm going to be completely honest. I am A-type. I am action, which I guess is very much like that energy of go. Okay. So for me to do things like yoga, like breathing, like whatever, feels like I want to scream, like initially, right? But I started doing it. I was trusting the process, and like at about the middle finger,
How appropriate.
I was like, oh, this is working. It really worked. Like I literally, like I wanted to give that context because I'm not making this up. Like I can't make this up. And that's what was going on through my mind. I was like, I don't want to breathe. I want to do stuff. I want to find the camera that goes with that computer. I want to find my charger and do this the right way. And then so the way that I experienced was, at first when I started, I had that anxiety of like, I want to do stuff. But then the concentrating on my finger and on the activity forced me to get out of that judgment space in my head and just be present in the moment, which reminds me a lot like of when I actually like meditate, because I do meditate. I've learned some things. That's what happens. So that started to kind of calm my nervous system. And I don't know, like somehow one hand to the other, like me touching my own skin created this balance, is how I would describe it, like this energetic balance. Yes. I'm literally like describing my, like, explain to me the science, Mary. Like
I thank you so much. Thank you so much for being so vulnerable and explaining exactly.
Yes.
And I love that you felt it when you were supposed to feel it, because the truth is that we're experiencing emotions all the time, right? And our brain is, they say it's about 60,000 thoughts a day. Imagine just kind of going through all the whole time. When you're doing this, you actually tell your brain, okay, we need to refocus. The fact that you're touching, it also helps with serotonin, because that's a chemical that goes into your brain. We feel it when someone hugs us. We feel it when there's touch, right? So this starts creating that chemical. So your brain's like, you're safe. There's some chemical in there that's bringing that safety net. Then you also are creating that idea of, I have to make it to my last finger. And if you're, like me, that you love to, complete the task, right? It's, there's a goal. So there's a goal, and now you're focused on finishing that goal. So that creates dopamine. So that's another chemical that's released into your brain. And then last but not least, your focus, like you mentioned, shifted. It went from everything that was going on and the judgment that you had, and oh my goodness, and I was late, or yada yada, you were irritable, right? But then focusing on this lets your brain say, okay, it's gonna be fine, it's okay. And yes, the calm palm does that exactly. It calms you. So there is some science behind it, and there is a reason why it did work. And the middle finger, I think that kind of just it's a subliminal message too, right? Okay, stop doing that to yourself. Just keep going. Keep going.
Stop messing with yourself. That's so funny. Oh,
so that's it.
So wow. Yeah, I mean, and I'm in this season where I'm like, all right, I'm not going to run from pain. I'm not going to run from discomfort. I'm not going to run from problems. I'm not going to go into the, like, this isn't working. Like, I refuse to fall into those patterns. And I feel like whenever I have a breakthrough where I was like, oh, wow, I overcame this thing, or I learned this thing, like, I get a bigger problem. And I'm like, all right. Like, I grew up in Southern California, so I would go to the beach. So the best way that I can describe it is, like, in Southern California, Malibu, the waves can be a little rough. And so, like, it's almost like when you've got a wave that, like, slaps you in the face, and then you're, like, tumbling inside the water, but then you, like, come back up, and you're like, all right, I'm going to be ready for the next one, right? And then with the next one, you have the tool. With the next one, you have the tool that you learned when you got slapped
Hmm.
the last time. It's like,
Right.
oh, I'm gonna go under the water now and like let it pass over me, like because you kind of can gauge, right?
Hmm.
So along the lines of that metaphor, you gave us a really simple tool that I would equate like, okay, this works like with the scenario that I just described, where like no one died, like it's just me and my mommy stress and my OCD,
Hmm.
whatever, I need everything to be neat and organized self, right? What are some tools when you're the law firm owner that is afraid you're not going to make payroll, like, or has that client that filed a complaint with the bar, like, yes, we're going to try this always, right? But like, what are some tools for like that big stuff?
Yes. Well, that's a great question. And I think that one of the things is, look around you. I feel that in more cases than less, we have the tools around us. We have the support. I mean,
Mhm.
someone that's watching this right now knows about you, knows that you are a tool to so many attorneys. You're offering them that, like, if they're experiencing like, how am I going to make payroll, then maybe that's something that there's strategy with that, right? That you don't have to figure out yourself. There's experts like you that can help with that challenge. So a lot of
Mhm.
times we're trying to take on ourselves and trying to fix things for ourselves, when
Mhm.
instead we can be vulnerable and say, you know what, this is what I'm experiencing. So my question to you is, now that you've acknowledged the problem, like, who have you asked? Who's good at that particular part? And sometimes you'll say, okay, like, we're asking the people that really don't know. Like, I mean, if I were to ask someone who's always asking me for money, and I'm asking, hey, this time I don't think I'm gonna make my payroll, that person is not gonna solve my problem because they have that problem themselves. So I need to go seek the answer with someone that's definitely has more of that affluence. Like, okay, how do you do it? Like, what are you doing that I can start doing? So where are we seeking our responses? Are we going to the same place? Are we just staying in our head? Or are we being vulnerable enough to find the true answers with someone else? Because I guarantee that they say that the answers are usually 5 feet around your radius. So who's
Mm.
around you, and are you addressing the issue with the right person?
I love this. And I think that if you layer this with the strategy of breathing, the hand exercise, and tools like that, you can relax enough to think through to those things. Because I think when you're like
Mm.
in everything's on fire mode, it's hard to really think about the solutions that you
Yes.
need. I didn't tell you this, but in between phone one and phone two, when I went to go find phone two, and I was a little bit more calm because I had that conversation with you about like, okay, I can either be defeated by this or I can take this as an opportunity, right?
Mhm.
And it kind of gave me a little switch of clarity and calmed me a little bit. I actually found one of the pieces to the charger to my laptop. And I was like, oh, like I was at this point looking for a phone, like to
Mhm.
get on this podcast. But anyway, that's like an example, I think, in real life that I just experienced too, where it's like when you start to get into that calmer space, you're able to see those solutions a little bit more clearly versus when you're in like survival mode.
Yes. Well, and I think there's also, when we start understanding like the chemistry in our body, because you mentioned before, like, explain the science with the hand, but there's so much. For example, we know, we talked about earlier, that this time of the year elevates our stress levels, right? There's like, even the fact that the year's ending, you want to finish things on time, you want to close a year strong, you want whatever it is that needs to be done, you don't want it to carry it over. And this creates a higher level of stress, which in turn also raises your cortisol. And what happens is that when we're raising that cortisol level, right, we start feeling it, like, literally, like, you started, people, sometimes they feel it in their stomach. They're like, oh my gosh, I feel like I'm full, like, and it's not what you ate, and we think, oh, maybe it's because I ate a lot. No, a lot of it is that cortisol, is that stress hormone that's built up. And when we can take some time, I love, like, I have it right here, a notebook, like, I have tons of notebooks. Like I love to write things down. And sometimes I'll put my timer, like, okay, for 5 minutes, I need to just give myself to write a list, to do something like these are the things that are coming up for me. And then go back onto my list and say, okay, so who can I address this challenge to? Who can I talk to about this? Oh, this is not really a big deal. And just allowing yourself that opportunity to get outside of your head, putting it down on paper, you understand that now like your cortisol level is going to start dropping, and it helps you come up with better ideas, better thoughts, and really helps you to increase your productivity and not your reactivity, because
I love that.
reactivity is when we react, right? And now it's like, oh gosh, now it's worse, now we have to fix what we broke, right? But when we write it down, we give ourselves that opportunity to say, okay, it's only 5 things that are really right now overwhelming you, and it's not 20. And once we have, become aware of that, then it's so much easier to come up with, okay, these are the things that I'm going to focus on to solve. I tell you, it works so well.
So let's talk about that now. Let's talk about goal setting, because we're also nearing the new year and we're nearing the season where people are setting goals, right? When you're in that happy place, I'm going to call it, because I actually had a happy place moment this morning when I woke up and I did think about my goals for the year. And I did think who, not how, because I've trained my
Mhm.
brain, right? Like I don't have to do it all.
Yes.
Like
Yes.
here are my goals. Who can I get to help me? Now let's talk about when it comes to growing a business. When many people think about who, not how, they think about the doers in operations or in marketing. But I don't think a lot of people have in their who, not how, to engage with emotional wellness strategists, people that can help them with their mindset. I
Yes.
personally do, but I think I am an exception. Mary, talk to us about how you, as an emotional wellness strategist, help people with the who, not how of goal setting and of, like, especially during this season, of really transforming their business, because we often think it's all the stuff out here. It's the
Mhm.
marketing campaign, it's the sales, it's the person you hired to do X, Y, and Z in your business, and we forget about this.
Yes. 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 Well, I want to tell you that first of all, it's important that you normalize support. I think that we feel that we have to figure, like somewhere along the line, we learned that we had to learn to figure things out ourselves. And then it's almost like, you might think that it's weak to go out and say, okay, look, I need this, right? Because you're supposed to figure it out. But the truth is that when you said the who, not how, it's like, I'm not supposed to figure out a how. My goal is to who can actually support me in this. And I think that
Mm-hmm.
that's so liberating. You can actually figure out, okay, wait, who do I know that can help me with this, and who can support me? Maybe even take away the help part if that really just burns you, right? But just kind of, I'm seeking support. And
Yeah.
and I think that's almost
Strategy.
like you're right. You have a car, like think about this way, and you might have the best car, like it's amazing. I don't know, whatever car you're into. But if I decide that I don't want to put gas into my car, no matter how fast that car was built to go, it's not going to move, right? So the chances are that if you are feeling blocked, you're feeling like, "Ugh, I'm about to write my goals, but what's going to make this year different than last year?" Well, I always say mindset, because if you don't come in to this new year with a different mindset, how does that happen? Chances are you have to talk to someone like myself, right? Or talk to someone else that is not necessarily someone that knows you personally, because I think sometimes, we have people that know us, and we might not believe that they see it what we don't, right? Or maybe they're holding us to an expectation that we're not ready for. So it's almost like, but what about bringing someone that it's not attached to you? You don't feel that, well, if I don't make it, this person's like, I can't sit across this person for my New Year's dinner or whatever, right? My whatever celebration you're having. This person's
Yeah.
gonna sit with me and saying, "Oh my God, what happened?" Right? No, this is no judgment, and this is what we do, right? We can sit with you, really find out why it is that you get stuck. And chances are, what I have seen in my practice and for the past 10 years, I do a lot of inner child work. And a lot of the things that we have in our brain, they have been buried there in our subconscious for years. We
Mm-hmm.
have created a belief of whatever our father told us, our mother told us. If they weren't around, then maybe you were substituting that, which needed to be in there, and you just learned, right? You learned what you had to learn that helped you at that moment. But
Mm-hmm.
is it really helping you now? And I think that that's what we get to know, that you're not alone, that when you have support, like, you're gonna move faster. I'm gonna go back to the car. I remember one time I was in a car, with um, um, as a passenger, and the car stopped, and I was like, what do you do when the car stops? So I was like, okay, I can sit there, add weight to the car, or I can go back and help push the car. And I
Ooh, put it
think
on
that
neutral. I've done that.
right. So exactly, right? You put it on neutral because
Yes.
that's a part of it. So just okay, let it flow. And now picture this, the car is actually moving. So if I had
Yeah.
stayed in the car, not only would I have added more weight to the car, right? But there was no help. So are you pushing the car by yourself? Are you trying to move this car and it's still probably on park? And I invite you that this year, as you write your goals, and as Margarita said, thinking about the who and not the how. It's like not how you're gonna do it, but who am I gonna do this with? Who am I pushing this car with?
Yeah.
And that's a
I
different,
I
mindset.
love that. Can I share? I just got a flashback. So when I was a senior in high school, I bought myself a Ford Probe. Fords are not my favorite because of this car. It traumatized me so bad. I cannot count how many times the thing broke down and I had to push it. I had to put it on neutral and push it. And it was always at night and I was always by myself. And the takeaway that I want to share is, if you're like me and you're like a Hercules, like I'm doing this, like you are in danger of like
Yeah.
limiting your own growth. Because I wish I could go back and tell 17-year-old Margarita, you know, yeah, you're a badass, you can do it, whatever. But if you just got a little bit into your feminine and like asked
Mhm.
for help, you could have been home an hour ago. And not
Yes.
shown up, not gotten in trouble and went past curfew. Because of course I would still get in trouble because I was past curfew. Like, well, my
Right.
car broke down. My dad's like, I don't care. Anyway,
Right.
so yeah, like if you're A type and you're tough and you're the kind of person that's just used to doing so much, I want to have you look into my eyes. You are in danger of limiting your growth right now.
Yeah.
Yes,
Mm.
because and this has been, wow, this is deep. I'm like, I feel like I'm getting a open therapy session right now. Thank you, Mary, for this. Mary, you and I have a fun announcement to make
Yes.
about, yes. Okay, so can I say it? Is it okay?
Go
Yes.
ahead. Go for it. Go for
So,
it. I'm
so
excited.
those of you that are familiar with Marketing Boss, you may or may not know that one of the things that we offer is mindset coaching. We offer it through Connect Convert. We also offer it through our actual CMO program. So even if you're one of the smaller clients with us, like, younger firm or like Titan firm, you can take advantage of mindset coaching for you as a business owner from coaches. And Mary is going to be one of our coaches starting next year. So you can actually contact us about how you can get access to getting help one-on-one from Mary, or contact her directly because she also does coaching on her own. Marketing Boss is not going to turn into a mindset coaching company, but it is one of the perks. And Mary is one of those people that helps us make it happen. So, Mary, is there anything else that you'd like to share about what you're going to do for our clients?
Well, I'm very excited. And I also, want to congratulate just your firm, because when you think about marketing boss, you think, okay, well, what's going to make me a marketing boss? And she is it. Like, honestly, like seeing the entire program, what she has packaged up and for attorneys, it's absolutely stunning. And to know that she's also including the mental health component, which through the mindset, I tell you that you are in for a treat, not just because it's me, and I know there's others out
Yes.
there that you can also choose from, but the fact that Margarita knows, like it's a proven formula, and she's handing it on to you in a platter, knowing that you can't control your circumstances because that's something that it just comes at us, but how you react to the circumstances and the belief that you have is going to either fuel your success or is going to turn it back. So I would definitely want to, I'm honored to be one of the coaches that you can reach out to. I definitely want to be the one to support you, help push that card to the next level, and really fuel your success in every which way, because 2026 is going to be an amazing year.
So, Mary, how can folks get a hold of you if they're like, you know what, I may or may not work with Marketing Boss, but I know I need Mary's help? How can they get a hold of you? Because we definitely want to encourage people to also work with you directly, full on, just with the coaching piece, if that's what they need right now, for sure. So, Mary, how can they get a hold of you?
Hey there, I hope you're enjoying the conversation and your sandwich as much as we are. I want to take a moment to share a few words about our sponsor, Marketing Boss. If you're a law firm owner looking to supercharge your growth, our team at Marketing Boss is here to help. We've got over a decade of experience and a proven track record, and we specialize in growing law firms like yours with data-driven marketing leadership. So if you own a law firm and you're ready to get a predictable, steady flow of cases from your marketing, let's connect at marketing-boss.com.
Thank you so much. Well, I'm going to share. I know that you had like a little running banner earlier, but there it is. So my number is on the screen, 786-708-7508. You can also check my website, marydominguez.com, and that's Mary with an E. So yes, definitely get merrier with Mary. That's how I'm adopting this holiday. And reach out, would love to support you and be that who that gets to work towards your all the what's in the house.
I love that. We're so excited to welcome you to the Marketing Boss family starting in the new year. And yes, we have a lot of things that have been in the works for a minute, and we're expanding our Rolodex of coaches, for those of you that know what a Rolodex is, so that you can get benefit. But we definitely want to encourage law firms, business owners to invest in just coaching, directly with, if you find a coach that you like, it can be Mary, it can be whoever. Like, I really want this to be a opportunity for you to say, hey, I want to do great things with my business. And yes, I know I need the marketing things, and I know I need the accounting things, and, the paralegal things, and all those other things that you need are so important. But definitely add this to your list, because for me personally, it's been a game changer. I had my holiday party with my staff, and and I'll share this, that when we were doing our little let's go around and do gratitude, one of the things that I shared with my team, because many of them didn't know the story of like how I started the firm, what condition I was in when I started the firm. And I flat out told them, and our one of our mindset coaches that's been with us since the beginning, she was there at the holiday thing, and I was like, guys, you may not know this. I was like, but I am just unbelievably grateful about all of you and what we've built, because it's a nice, healthy team. Because I don't know if you knew this, but when I started Marketing Boss, it literally started with a phone call to a mindset coach where I was like, I am not in a good place and I need help. Like, that's how it started. That led to the public speaking, that led to the really doing soul searching and figuring out how to make sense out of everything that I was going through in my life as a mom, as a business owner, and some trauma that I had experienced with some business partners that I had before, and then this happened. But it all started with a phone call. So I want that to be inspiring to you if you're a business owner and maybe you're not in the best place, maybe you are. Like, either way, mindset coaching can be the game changer. And I really do credit, I've worked with many coaches since. She was my gateway coach. I told her, she like got me started on all of this. Like, now I like listen to podcasts, and all the self mindset work is now a way of life. And it started with that one phone call. It started with that one experience. And now I get to work with, with Mary and a couple of other, folks. And it's just been just such an amazing thing for me personally, but for my business too. Like, I really want to encourage you, if you're a business owner and you really want to do amazing things next year, add mindset coaching to your portfolio of things that you work on, and definitely hit us up. So Mary, I have one more question to ask you, because I could share what you do for days, and I know I can keep asking you for free therapy here on this podcast. But I'm going to respect your time and pay you for a session like after. So Mary, one more question, and it's, some might say, the most important question of every single podcast episode, because it's called the Care Sandwich Podcast. So what is your favorite sandwich?
Oh, my favorite sandwich, I gotta tell you, it's an
Yes.
Elena Ruth. The Elena Ruth was introduced to me by my late husband, my husband, and it actually has ham, cream cheese, and strawberry jam. So it's very interesting, but it has a very, like, the little sweet thing there that I love. And next to that is a Monte Cristo, which also has a jam. So something about jam, but
You like salty sweet. You like
I
salty
like
sweet.
salty sweet.
So you
Yes.
like
So
brie, cheese, and all that stuff too, right? That's
yeah, so
yum.
that's definitely my favorite sandwich. But hey, I got as a
I
matter
need
of
to
fact,
try
I think I'm
that.
gonna have a sandwich when we're done.
I need to try that. Like, I'm still wrapping my mind around. So it's ham, jam, you said?
Yes, and cheese, and then yeah, it's that salty sweet. The Monte Cristo is the same concept. It's a ham, the in cheese, and you put some raspberry or strawberry jelly in it, and it's so good. And
Okay.
then you can, like, put it on the stove, kind of like lightly fried a little bit. That's just another level of it, but it's so good.
That sounds
It
delicious.
it's
Yeah,
very
I'd love that.
comforting, like one of those comfort foods. I want to say one more thing, because I know
Yes.
that our topic today was, you know, addressing the holiday blues, and, not being so harsh on yourself as the year,
Mhm.
ends and so forth. Or even if you've lost someone, my condolences, because I know I've been there. I mean, this was a rough year for me too. I lost my husband of 33 years that we've been together, and I can tell you, and I can assure you that there's it's a matter of perspective, right? Because
Mm.
yes, there's moments that I'm going to be sad, but I choose to take those memories and those moments that were great and focus on those, because those moments make me smile. And it's not masking the sadness, it's really living the moment. Like, I'm so grateful for that we had those moments. So I just want to invite you, that if that's the reason why you're feeling maybe a little bit of sadness during the holidays, it's normal, it's an emotion. And don't mask it, just let it flow. Because just as we did the calm palm, it takes a few seconds for the emotion to just pass. But when we mask it and we just get busier, or let's just do another, work on another case, then we're not allowing that emotion to really, just through, like the wave, right? So that we talked about before.
Well,
So
I
that's
love that.
my favorite.
Yeah, and I think that goes, if you've lost someone and you're really missing them during the season, or if you're in the middle of a divorce, or other thing like that. Like, yeah, I think a couple of years ago, when I had a couple of rough holiday seasons, I was going through some really big life changes. One thing that stuck with me was I honored my pain, I mourned, and I didn't run to get busy, like you said,
Mhm.
but I also worked on focusing on the good memories, the good stuff,
Yes,
yes. So
right.
yeah, copy paste. I love that. That's really great advice.
Absolutely.
Yeah, that's
Absolutely.
really great advice.
And I'll end with this. I feel that, just as a reminder, that, changing the result of whatever it is that you want, to see, it starts with interrupting the belief, whatever belief that comes in your head, because your brain is going to try to protect you, and sometimes, ready to fight. But when you just take a moment to, how can we change this belief? And, or who can help me change this belief? Then we're halfway there. So just
Yeah, the belief, and I'm gonna use the word judgment too, because I feel like those are sometimes interchangeable.
Mhm.
Like I, I at one point judge things as either bad or good. I don't do that anymore. I judge them as, or I now call them pleasant or unpleasant, but they're all good. They're all beneficial.
Mm. Mm,
Um,
right.
and that to me was a belief that I had, but it was attached to a judgment, if that makes sense. Like I was
Mhm.
in the habit of like, this is not good, this is good, and every once in a while I catch myself slipping, like, oh, I think earlier today I was like, oh, today's just not a good day, you know what I mean? Like, and I'm like, wait a minute, I'm judging. Like, no, it's an opportunity. And like once I had that
Mhm.
switch, like things changed, the energy changed. So
Right.
yeah.
And just when you said about the because you had experienced such a day that had been like so hectic, in the morning, you came in with the right emotion to be able to experience the benefit of the calm palm. If you had not been that way, you would have been like, oh yeah, this is nice. But when you're feeling it and you experience it, you're like, whoa.
That's
So
true. Whoever's watching this, you got to see my legit, like, I'm anxious and I'm doing this exercise and now I'm calm. Now look at me. Now I'm like leaning back. I'm like chill. I'm like, this is great. Wow. Yeah, you're
yeah,
right. And that's how it was an opportunity. That's how it was a gift. Thank you. Thank you,
absolutely.
universe. But don't send me more
Thank
problems.
you. Yes. Yes, absolutely. Work both ways.
Yes. I love it. Well, Mary, what a treat. Thank you so much. Folks, if you want to get a hold of Mary, get some help, get some coaching, not some help, get some strategies.
Yes.
Get some coaching, get some support for your business, and let's have a great 2026. Thank you all
Yes,
so much for watching. We'll
absolutely.
see you on the next episode of Care Sandwich.
We'll see you and go try that sandwich.
Yes.
Thank you for joining us on this episode of Care Sandwich. Remember, the way we care for our clients, our teams, and ourselves can make all the difference in our success. Until next time, keep caring, keep growing, and I'll see you on the next episode of Care Sandwich.